This is a wonderful collaborative event that came about because of a conversation that the board of the Land Trust had with Lonnie Fournier. We've been looking for an opportunity to get into Burns Memorial Park for one of our walks, our seasonal walks that the Land Trust does each year in the spring and the fall.
The park, it's about 26 acres, and it really came to be, the bulk of it came to be in the mid-60s and early 70s. And the town acquired about 7 acres close to Central Street for $1,000 in the mid-60s. And then the bulk of the park, where we'll be visiting today, it's about 19 acres, and that was in the early 70s. We acquired that from the Burns family for about $10,000. As part of that acquisition, they requested that the park be named Burns Memorial Park, so that's why it's known today.
Tranquility Grove today is part of Burns Memorial Park, a Conservation Commission property in the town of Hingham. But 175 years ago, last August, the largest abolitionist event ever held in U.S. history took place there. Was from 6,000 to 10,000 people, came from Suffolk, Essex, Middlesex, Norfolk, and Plymouth counties, all to gather in Hingham that day with processions and celebrations. And there they celebrated the 10th anniversary of the emancipation of the slaves in British West Indies. Well, what happened was a day full of colorful and amazing events. We're standing right now in the New North Meeting House, which was the gathering point for thousands from Norfolk and Plymouth counties.
It started in about 1838, and meetings were held in the homes of the founding members of the church, all these pews around me. So Stearns became pastor here in 1839, and he served until 1856. And in 1841, he helped engineer the passage of a resolution against architectural segregation. And here we have, on either side of the sanctuary, way up high, these 2 galleries where servants sat.
They gathered here, created a large procession by county. They walked down to the steamboat wharf where they met a steamboat where all the delegates from Boston, Essex, and Middlesex counties had arrived. There was a procession of a couple of miles right down by the waterfront, down South Street, up Main Street, and then over into Tranquility Grove. There were speeches, songs, picnics, prayers, and it went on basically until from the morning to 7 o'clock in the evening.
I want to especially thank Lonnie Fournier for her leadership in working with the Land Trust, seeking our assistance to make this park more accessible. Martha Bewick, without whose book we really wouldn't be paying attention to this important event 175 years ago. Jared Mayo, the many hardworking members of the Land Trust Board, Reverend Steve Osella here at New North Church, who made it possible for us to start the event here, and who'll represent Oliver Stearns, the abolitionist preacher who preached here back in 1844. So there are quite a number of people.